hopefuls. Let's check in and check up and see what's happening with each other. Is this light too bright? I don't think the lights can ever be too bright, but I'm going to adjust it a little. There we go. And I'm so happy to be on live. I am so happy. Can't you tell? And I'm happy to share and see how everyone is. A quick check in. Since we're in the fall months, things change. When the weather changes, we are nearing the end of the year. And this is a time where I'm not going to be accepting any co-hosts, but thank you for the invite and no. So yeah, a check in and check up to see how everyone is progressing, and a message of the reminder of to keep going. And my dad would always, thank you for the likes. Continue to like and share the live. This is what my dad would say. He would say, just keep going. No matter what you're pursuing, to keep going. And thank you, Sel, for liking the live. And so also often we want to quit and throw in the towel. And not, that's right, Sel, and not to keep going. And I'm reminded of this because what's the other option? If the other option is to stop, to quit, to get to a certain point and turn around, you're only fooling yourself that this is not, it's not complete. This is part of manifestation. You just persist. So if you don't have what you want yet, it's not done. But you have to, thank you, Sel, for the follow. You have to keep going. And I had shared, I had quite this time last year, my father had gone into the hospital, and about a month later, he passed away. And it rattled me, but it showed me another space of myself, because we all will have a parent that will pass. We will all have people close to us that will pass. We will all go through these transitions. But the most important transition is the transition you have within yourself. When you decide to say, man, this is hard. And I remember saying that like, I can handle anything, but man, this is something. I'm tough. And to understand that toughness is what chisels you, that toughness and that ability to keep going and say, ooh, I feel it, because I saw a piece of content. What's up, Ryder4949? I know, haven't been on in a minute, but I am here now. So I'm appreciating, if we have 224 people here in the live, let's get this live up to at least 20,000. Come on, we can easily hit 10,000, but let's like and share the live. So yes, that deep pain that you have to feel to go through. And when you feel it, it transforms you. And when it transforms you, you're able to help someone else. You're really able to help yourself, because I look and say, geez, look what I have survived, not even survived, thrived from. And I was just at another homegoing service of one of my close friends. Their mother transitioned, and I went to their service, and it reminded me of that time. And although most people would say that is so sad, I don't want to think about that, the beauty is how you honor someone when they leave. Because you never mourn someone you don't like. If someone close to you passes away and you love them, that's when you mourn. What we lose in the fire, we find in the ashes. Sure, that's a great saying. But what you learn is, wow, what they taught me, what they gave to me, what they poured into me, how they supported me, how they loved me, how they created spaces for me, how they created love for myself. I've spoke so many times about my father and my love for myself. Because when you love yourself, and I just made a post about being crazy, because I'm crazy enough to believe. And this is what this is about, being crazy enough to believe. And any of you 200 of you who are new to the live, I'm crazy enough to believe that I can do anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything. If I want to be an astronaut, I know I can do it. It may take however long it takes, but I believe it, because why not? Why would I just tell myself no? The world will tell you no. I'm not going to tell myself no. Why would I tell myself no? But also often we just tell ourselves no. And I remember, because of the love for myself, I said, you know what? It's time for me to transition. And transitioning is great. I am going to tell everyone in the room, if you want to try something, do it. Instead of saying, nah, it probably won't work. No, I'm not going to do that. No, what will people think? I don't care about that. I'm doing it. And what I will learn is the lesson. Sometimes the lesson is, I'm going to do something else. Sometimes the lesson is, wow, I've really stacked myself up against barriers that I will jump across, because I'm not going to lose. Thank you, Awakening Radiance. Yeah, here's another thing. This is like my pumpkin spice latte here. Thank you for sharing the live, Esther. I love a good hair change, so I kind of got rid of the blonde, but I will always go for what I want. I am always going to be resilient. And when I share about my transition from being a flight attendant, it was always, yes, I can do whatever I feel that's next. I don't care about the time. Now, in that in-between time, you will look back. And this is for me saying, I've looked back and said, oh, geez, should I? You're only looking back from a standpoint of where you no longer are. When I decided to leave, I knew I would be successful. When I decided to leave, I knew how difficult it would be. When I decided to leave, I knew what it would take. When I decided to leave, I could physically see it. I could touch what was next for me to be a speaker. Now, when you're in it, it's a whole different ballgame, but you have to hold that vision. And that's with anything. I really don't get occupied with anything else, because I see what I want and I just keep going. And this is a testament to how strong the human spirit is. The human spirit is strong. The human spirit is resilient. But you have to be able to tell yourself, I am resilient. I can keep going. I can do it. I will do it. I am tired. I need to rest. It's not a straight line. Often the line goes like this, especially in a field if you are creative. Because specifically talking about the US, creatives and artists aren't pushed. And art is all around us. Art gets you up every day, whether it's music, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a picture. And I believe my voice is my art, and I believe my words are my art. And I had second-guessed myself before. It didn't matter what people had told to me. And I remember, and I'll speak about imposter syndrome, because unless you are truly living in like a purposeful space, you may not have this, but maybe you do. Maybe in your own job, of your 9 to 5, you feel it. But I have only felt imposter syndrome from my own creations. And it often comes from people. What's up, Zell? I'll take a compliment. Here's the other thing. I'm a tough cookie. That means nothing. And I love it because it adds to the algorithm. So continue to do that. And thank you, James Creator 5, for the follow. Okay. The pretty face and the soothing words and my tone often gets misconstrued for something else. I am dangerous. Just because I am relentless for what I want. And I love myself. So anything outside of me, whatever you say, doesn't permeate me. Doesn't mean anything. Means nothing. I know what is real. I know what matters. That doesn't matter what anyone says to me. It doesn't affect me. So, imposter syndrome. It's often felt, because I went on ChatGPT, it's often felt by high achievers. No, I don't like peach rings. Why would I eat peach rings? I don't even eat candy. Candy is for kids. I eat fruit and I drink water. So I don't know if that's something else, but no. I don't eat that type of stuff. So, imposter syndrome. It's a big thing with high achievers. And the more achievements you have, the stronger you feel it. And I gave a keynote, which was a little over 60 minutes at a retreat about 4 weeks ago. And I remember as I was speaking, I wasn't really feeling that imposter syndrome, but it was after, because it was my first keynote. In fact, it was probably every event means something. When I gave my TED Talk, I felt that imposter syndrome. When I spoke at my high school, I felt some sort of resistance. It's every level that you go up, you will feel this resistance. And it's really your former self trying to hold on, because you're growing into a new space, and this is the new space of whatever you do. But this is my experience. What's up, Kenneth Nichols? What's up 303? Is that Colorado, Denver? I know a lot of area codes, just so you know. Those are the things that are like interesting to me. I don't really care about like a car. I care that if you see an area code, you can pinpoint it, and I can, as well as country codes, but most people can't because they haven't been anywhere. But, so when I did my TED Talk, which you can watch it, my link in bio has my TED Talk, which was a year ago. What's up, the God Particle? And when I came off the stage, it was like a resistance. And when I say this resistance, this feeling of imposter syndrome was just the immense, like, it was like 291. Thank you. It was like almost a voice of, it's not that great. It's not that great. It's not that great. You're not that great. They're just saying this. It's not that great. And it was shocking to me, because I felt it most in this last keynote. And a keynote is a big deal for a speaker, especially they had secured me last year. I was like the headliner, Hope the TED Talker, and I knew I'm going in there as the proud speaker. But it was the biggest push of, it's not that great. They're making this up. You're not as good as you think. And those thoughts where I actually had to say, okay, I can recognize that. And that's not true. Like, I can recognize that thought, and that is not true. And I'm sharing this because anyone who wants to accomplish anything great, thank you, Afrocentric, for continuing to like the live. Be aware that the old parts of you will have to relinquish control. And a part of that is being able to observe that thought and not identify with it. And that's with anything. If you identify there's a space that you no longer need to occupy, whether that's a friend group, whether that's a relationship, whether that is anything you choose in life, that safe space that felt comfortable in that area does not want to relinquish control. And I found that. And it was somewhat jarring, but because I was aware, thank you, Mark, at Isaac Potter, for the follow, to know that, oh, that's just an old part of me. That's not me. I don't have to identify with that. In fact, that's not even true. And I'm here to remind you, none of your thoughts are true. You can just say, that's not true. I'm choosing not to identify with that. I'm choosing not to have that as my reality. I'm choosing not to be led by that thought. And that takes some time. I do meditate and I do a lot of mindfulness exercises where I'm able to calm myself and know that the thought is not real. It's just something made up. I don't have to identify with it. And when I came off from doing that keynote and I had those thoughts of, it's not that great, you're not that great. Everyone who was coming up to me, thank you, Michael, for the heart me, who came to share with me how my words had touched them and some people had tears in their eyes. It was strong, that imposter syndrome of like, nah, they are making this up. Do not latch on to this. Now, I will also say, both are neutral. The compliments or negativity is neutral. I make it neutral because I get to dictate how I show favor for what I do. And I'm sharing this because all so often we may not realize that to get to any next level means to grow. And growth, I remember someone telling me this, growth is never comfortable. Growth is never comfortable. In fact, growth, the most growth is through the most amount of discomfort. And most people don't like uncomfortable things. Now, I don't mind discomfort because I know it's temporary, but it's a part that I've gotten used to because as aspirational as I am, I know it's just a part of life. If you aspire for many things, you have to become comfortable with discomfort. You do. It's just a part of it. You just become comfortable with discomfort. So for me to be comfortable with discomfort is normal. Every time I've gone or moved to a different location or traveled to a different location or shifted who I was in life, it comes with discomfort and you gotta get used to it. You gotta get used to it. And when I say you have to, the moment that you realize this is signaling my growth, this isn't how it will always be, but this is birthing strength in me, you realize, oh, it's not that bad. For me to get to where I want to be, this is a part of it, but it's not that bad. Younger, prettier, more serious. Sure, I'll take all of it. Thank you, Mark Palmer. What's up? You changed your name. You changed your name, Big Hope. That's what they call me. That's what they call me. Yeah, they have called me Big Hope. I'm kind of, in certain circles they call me Big Hope because I come with a big personality. I may not be large in stature, but I do come with a big energy. And getting comfortable with discomfort will get you to where you want to be in life because the discomfort is a part of it, but as soon as you can navigate the uncomfortable parts, you can get to the spaces where you excel. When you can get comfortable with the discomfort, you get to the spaces where you excel. And because I am so aspirational, I know that there's a lot of discomfort. And I share that because I sat back one day and thought, I must have signed like a big life contract because boy, oh boy, geez Louise, this is tough. And I enjoy growing from it. Thank you, Mark Palmer. Big energy is great. Discomfort or pain is the greatest motivator. I didn't say that. I didn't. You see, here's the thing. I never said that. Okay? Thank you, Jackson. Mark Palmer. I never said discomfort or pain is the greatest motivator. I did not say that. I said become comfortable with discomfort because you are growing. That's where the growth is. I don't look for pain to be the center point of my motivation. I don't. So I will say that. Thank you, Mally CZ, for the follow. Pain will motivate change or growth. Okay, I understand that, but I'm never looking. Listen, I'm never looking for pain. Okay, in fact, I don't want pain. Discomfort is something. Yeah, Chelsea, I haven't. I've been moving and shaking. But what I did say is discomfort is in growth. It is a part of growth. I didn't say pain is a motivator. Not for me, okay? Let me say to everyone in the chat, I'm not looking for pain. I've had quite an interesting time within life. And I'm not saying that at all, okay? So let me just send that out as the disclaimer, okay? What I did share is growth is uncomfortable. Yes, well, you have hope on here, yes. So I was speaking about, not buyer's remorse. What was I speaking about? Imposter syndrome. And how I had went to ChatGPT, and here's another thing. With ChatGPT, I use it for everything. I use it for dream analysis. I put my dreams into ChatGPT, and it does a whole analysis of my dreams because I write my dreams down every morning. But I also put down all of those things that I felt at this last keynote that I gave at this 3-day retreat, and why imposter syndrome comes up. And ChatGPT told me, especially for overachievers, it seems to be something that's constant. And with every major achievement, it does come. It doesn't come when I'm just sitting here talking to you or when I'm making videos for YouTube or anything like that. It's at these events, and not all of them. I'm sharing this because I know this will help someone, especially if you're in a creative field or artistic field or just trying something with passion, because I do this with passion. And this isn't, well, let me tell you exactly what imposter syndrome is. Imposter syndrome so Mark Palmer 248. Imposter syndrome is a psychological phenomenon where individuals doubt their abilities, talents, or accomplishments and have a persistent fear of being exposed as a fraud despite clear evidence of their success. People with imposter syndrome often believe that their achievements are due to luck, timing, or external factors rather than their own skills and efforts. Common characteristics of imposter syndrome are self doubt, constantly questioning your competence or qualifications, perfectionism, setting unrealistically high standards and feeling like a failure if they're not met, fear of failure, avoiding challenges because of a fear of being found out, overworking, putting in extra effort to prove worth, often at the expense of mental health, discounting success, attributing achievements to luck or external factors rather than personal effort. And I'm speaking of imposter syndrome. Thank you, Stay Woke, for the follow. Who experiences it? It's common across all demographics, but especially among high achieving individuals, students, professionals, or anyone entering a new or competitive environment. It affects people regardless of age, gender, or background. How to overcome imposter syndrome. Recognize it. Understand that feeling like an imposter is common and doesn't affect your reality. Celebrate achievements. Take time to acknowledge your successes and the work you put into them. Talk about it. That's what I'm doing now. Share your feelings with trusted friends, mentors, or colleagues who can offer perspective. Reframe thoughts. Replace I don't belong here with I am learning and growing every day. And finally, focus on growth. Shift your mindset from perfection to progress. It's important to know you are not alone, and with time and effort, you can build confidence in your abilities. So many people feel the effects of imposter syndrome, and I hope that helps. Thank you, Potato Films, for the follow. And I share that because, as I said, I do this with passion. And this is now not only my profession, but it is a passion. It is something that I love to do. It's something that I practice daily. So to put this in a public forum and for people to hire me to speak and go to these spaces and show up as this, every time you step out into that public facing forum, it will bring these feelings out. But this could be anywhere. This could be at your job as a second grade teacher. If you just don't feel, all right, anyone who sends invite for a co-host, I just turned it off because y'all ain't coming on here, okay? It's my time to talk. You aren't over here talking. Thank you for continuing to like and share the live. It was even with pleasure, Mark, in my new pitches, because ambition comes from a space of knowing before it has happened. So I know these things before it happened. Now, others may call that manifestation or wish fulfillment or a blessing. Regardless of what the background is, it's seeing and knowing that you can achieve something before it's achieved. And then after you achieve it, it's like, oh, I did that. How did I do that? Did I really do that? Am I just lucky? Is it timing? Am I not that great? It's all of that. But then it passes and you accept your greatness and you accept that you have skill. And you accept that you're worthy of the spaces that you're in and you keep going. So it doesn't stop me. It should not stop you. It's a space for you to pause and recognize this is what this is. And I can reframe that thought. this is what this is. Thank you, Dee. And I can know that I'm actually worthy of being in this space. This is what is coming to me, and I know that I'm actually great at what I do. I'm actually great at what I do. And I had shared right before I gave my TED Talk last year, it was the same thing, but it was more so that was a whole nother creative endeavor. But I'm hoping that this will help someone, because we all grow through these spaces. Thank you, Jeremiah. And to hear someone who has a similar path or has felt something similar is comforting. And this is why I speak. And this is why I enjoy when I went and was invited to speak at my high school, that I walked those same hallways, and everywhere that I speak, thank you for continuing to like and share the live. It inspires someone. It inspires someone, because being passionate is great until it has all of these sides. And for anyone who's new to my live, I'm a speaker. I previously was a flight attendant for 15 years, and so I've traveled all over. I've lived in a bunch of places. Like I'm the best person you'll ever meet in your life. And I loved that, and I will even speak about seeing the content that is created by the flight attendants on this app, and I love it, but I knew that I no longer wanted to do it, and I knew that I had to pivot, and I knew that I wanted to do something different, and I just knew it. And I listened to me, and to trust yourself is to say, I'm going to do this regardless of people saying I would never leave that job. I don't care. I'm going to do this regardless if people believe in me or not. It's not about you believing in me. I don't care what you believe or think about me, because I believe in me. I have to transition because I don't care if you say, well, I would never do that. I don't want to lose my flying privileges. That is you. And I'm sharing this because all so often individuals are only sharing their limitations for their life. So what they're saying is, I could never replace what I'm doing now. I could never make more money than I'm making now. I could never get to a space where I could buy flights instead of my free flights that I have now. I don't believe in myself enough, so I'm going to tell you my true thought of how I see myself. That's all it is. Do you hear what I'm saying? I've always believed. And that's why I'm crazy. Because I believe I can always pivot, make more for myself, create another story for myself, and continue to build upon what I did last. And I learned this especially when my father passed away last year. This life is for living. This life isn't for, oh, I'm doing okay. I'm not afraid of anything. You tell me, I've experienced it. I've done it. Nothing is that bad. Well, I quit the job and I have no money. There will be a time where you will. That's beautiful. I don't want to get kicked out of my place. I've had that happen. There will be another place. Like, all of these things happen and you learn something from it. There's never a time that you can't come back. Ever. I've rebuilt my entire life several times, broken the barrier of fear of failure. I don't care. It's never a failure. It's only a lesson. It's never a failure. It's only a lesson. There is no failure. The only failure is when you just decide not to get up. If you decide not to get up, I guess that could be a failure, but that could also be a lesson in your resilience. I don't see anything as a negative space for me. All I know is I am a human being. I'm resilient. And because I'm crazy enough to believe, I'm strong enough to make it happen. And we have AI. We have ChatGPT. What can I not do? So my time as a flight attendant, I really enjoyed. Now, also my time as a flight attendant, I maxed that to the max, okay? I had an exceptional flying career. Thank you, Omar, for the follow. Most flight attendants don't even, thank you, Miss Sexy Fudge. Most flight attendants don't even have my experience because I had been to 5 different bases and I traveled a lot on my off days. I would travel on my layovers. I used every benefit that my company had, but there was never a moment where I said, this is as good as it gets for me. There's no way in life that I can't do more than what this company is offering me. No. I'm betting on me, and I will always bet on me. Why would I not bet on me? I'm always going to bet on me. I'm not going to bet on the degree. I'm not going to bet on a company. I'm not going to bet on someone's word. I'm going to bet on me because I'm the magic. I'm the spell. I'm the blessing. I'm the wish fulfillment. I am the manifestation. It's me. You can do all of the other things to think that it will bring it to you, but the belief is it's you. Yes, Divine Desserts by Karen. It's you. Thank you, Arlie, for the follow. When I say I'm the magic, I am the magic. I am. I am the magic. When I say I am the blessing, I mean it. I am the blessing. When I say I am the spell, I am the spell. When I say I am the manifestation, the wish fulfillment, the secret sauce, whatever you want to call it, it is me. And you'll know it. If you get next to me, you will say, there's something about that Hope I like. It is the truth. I'm the truth. It's me. It's you. It's not just me. It's in you. You got to believe it. You got to walk in it. You have to act as if. But if you don't believe in you, then forget about it. And here's the thing. Most of you guys don't believe. You believe there's so many barriers. You believe the barrier of your skin color. You believe the barrier of the money that you do or don't have. You believe the barrier of your socioeconomic status, your religion, what your mama told you, what your uncle told you, what your daddy told you, what your friend told you, where you at. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about any of that. If you are always concerned, well, the economy isn't right and the politics, I don't care about any of that. The economy and the politics are in here. I will make it work. I will work it until it works. Period. If everything is dictated on circumstance of what's outside of you, then nothing will change. You got to get to a point where you understand you are the magic. It's all in you. Now, it may take time, but that belief in yourself is an incredible power. It's an incredible power. When I talk about my belief in myself, and a lot of this goes back to my father, because my father was such an incredible powerhouse. He taught us to believe. It was never you're great because of what you look like or no, it's something that's unseen. And we all have it, but you have to believe. You have to believe in it. If you don't believe in it, and I've been in both spaces of my name is Hope, hoping that it will work. No, you have to know. You have to know. I don't care what the circumstances are. And this is talked about a lot in the manifestation circles. Circumstances don't matter. Just because something outside of you isn't showing that it's working doesn't mean it's not working. And this is from someone who retired to start my legacy career. And I say that because I knew it was time for something else. I knew my voice was necessary. I knew I wanted a new challenge. I knew I got to be relentless and grow and do what it takes. But if this is you and this resonates with you, then it is in you too. I believe it's in all of us. This is what I speak about as a speaker. This is in all of us. It's that unseen thing. All of us were born for a reason. All of us are here for a reason. I don't know what it is. You probably do know what it is, but you will constantly tell yourself, I can't do that. And it doesn't mean you need to jump in and be like me and quit what you're doing. No, you can do it as a hobby. You can build upon it, but you have to let it shine. Well, you don't have to want to see. Here's the thing. If it's put into you, it's just naturally going to come with ease. So I don't want to be a speaker. I'm a speaker naturally. I already am a speaker. I craft my speeches. I craft what I do. Thank you, Deborah, for the ice cream cone. But it's what I do naturally. And this is why, thank you, Jane. Is it Jangela? For the roses. This is why often the things we do so easily, we think it's not for us. Because it comes with ease, whether it's cooking, speaking, doing art, doing landscaping, whatever it is, that may be your thing. Maybe it's the art of learning. Maybe it's the art of teaching. Maybe it's something. But whatever comes to you with ease, and individuals say, wow, you do that so well, it's probably your gift. It's probably your gift. And I strongly believe, now again, when I say I'm crazy, I just believe and go. There's not much forethought. Because I trust myself, I'll be like, okay, yeah, let's do it. And I'll make the decision. And I will just ride the wave of what comes after. But it's worth it. Because at the end of your life, you will have to look back and say, geez, I didn't do too much. I was pretty safe. I didn't travel where I wanted to travel. I actually never really did what I truly wanted to do. I just did what was safe. Thank you, Deborah, for sharing the live. I never wanted to do that. And I truly do live like I'm going to not be here one day. Most of you don't. Most of you just assume that you will constantly be here. And I also learned that from my emergency landing, that thank you, Real Talk, for the follow, that's how quickly life changes. There was also people that transitioned on flights that I worked. So I had these close encounters with people transitioning. And I did not feel afraid. I saw that as kind of a nudge of that is life and the ending of it. No one tells you you have this amount of time. When I told myself, I will not do anything that I don't want to do, which I've always done. My mom and dad could probably speak to that because I don't do anything I want to do. That's with relationships or anything. Once I'm either 100% or it's no. I don't force things. I just have a trusting. I have a knowing. It is that belief of this is for me, and what's for me will come to me with ease and will stay. I don't have to force anything. What's up, T? What's up, T? I'm all right. I'm thriving. I'm not just all right. I don't just want to be all right. I'm thriving. I'm healthy. I'm strong. My skin is glowing. My hair's a new color. It's all good. So that belief of if I got to force something, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Things at times are so gray because I've done so much. Whether it's traveling, whether it's a different way of life, I've done so much that I'm really in a space of service, of giving back. When I give messages, it's giving back. Thank you, Lauren. It is like my pumpkin spice latte color hair. It's, no blonde, but there's elements. Yeah, thank you. It does. And I've trimmed it. I'm not going to keep trimming it, but I did. Because I am going to grow it out. But thank you. Thank you. I've done so much. And I love that because I was watching on the app of people talking about their experience at the marathon. Thank you, T, for liking the live. Let's continue to get this live up to at least 10,000. The New York City Marathon. And I said, yeah, I remember when I did that. And it's that reminder of there's always something more you can challenge yourself to do. And it's not a bragging thing. It's something that I never thought I would do. But I did do the New York City Marathon twice. And it was, to me, one of the most New York things to do. But there's many things that I've done. Many things, whether it was living abroad or traveling on my own, which I prefer to do because I ain't waiting for anyone to come with me, or now speaking to hospitality groups because that's my specialty. I worked in that industry and stayed in more hotels than most people will ever see in their lives. I know what a traveler wants. There's all of these things where I've said, I have expertise in this. I'm going for this. This is for me. Why not? I'm going to create the best life for me. And I will learn and I will grow. And it's not about being perfect. It's about learning and growing. I at times it's like I'm spoiled because I just believe that I can do anything. But why not? Life is either a daring adventure or boring, and I don't want it to be boring. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for liking the live, T. Thank you, Airy Man, for sharing the live. And please, everyone in the live, if there's any topics that you would like me to speak on, DM me, and I will create a message and put it on my Hope is Speaking YouTube, because I do that. But what I'm sharing is the beauty of creating life for you. I don't care what these mofos say. I'm not actually even on this app to see what people like a viral thing. What? I don't even really understand that. I don't really want to buy a viral item. Like, I have things that I like and I trust. I don't really need just an item because everyone has it. But I understand it because not everyone believes that what they choose is good enough. When I say I know everything comes to me with ease, that's the truth. But that also comes from a deep love, respect, and trust of myself. Of myself. I'm not even someone that argues. Because if I gotta argue and say no, that ain't for me. That is not for me. You see this beautiful skin? I'm not doing all of that. No, I'm not. And to know that you are so much more than what you are now, but you will have to take that challenge to see. Yeah, thank you, Mark Palmer. You will have to take that challenge to see. And at this last keynote that I gave, which was in Mississippi, at this retreat, it was full. I loved it. I loved it. I'm still waiting on the playback because it was... A lot of people, when I came back from that event, from speaking that event, they said, Hope, what did you talk about? And I was like, I don't remember. Sometimes when I'm speaking, it's just like I feel so free. So it was right outside of Jackson. It was in It was like an hour, I think, north of Jackson at this. Yeah, it just flows. Let me tell you exactly because you should visit them online. Um, Flowers. It was amazing. So it was, no, not in Vicksburg, but someone was from Vicksburg there. It was Francis Flowers and Herbs Farm in Pickens, Mississippi. And even the voyage there was like most people wouldn't have been able to handle delays from airports and on flights. But because I was a flight attendant for 15 years, all that stuff is normal to me. It doesn't affect me. You just sit down and drink some water. And I was supposed to land at 1 in the afternoon, and I didn't. I got to the hotel at about 1 in the morning because of all the delays, and when I arrived at my hotel, which was booked by the event organizers, they were like, "Are you Hope?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "Oh, okay, we canceled your reservation and sold your room." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Just a minute." And I went and called the organizers. Most people would have lost it because it's already 1:30 in the morning. They're walking into the hotel that they thought they would have arrived at 12 hours before, and they're tired and they hear that their reservation has been canceled. It was like, it will get handled. Everything will get handled. This is just, call the event organizers. This doesn't have anything to do with me, but I'm sharing that because you got to be able to snap yourself out of whatever's happening around you. Also, often the belief is I got to lose it because this isn't going my way. No, this will go my way, but this isn't my time to lose control. Just call the organizers. And within 5 or 10 minutes, my reservation was booked and I was going to my room. I'm reminding you of that because you gotta be able to keep your head in situations where you will lose your head. But here's the other thing. As a flight attendant, that was my world. The world of travel and hotels and things being canceled, that does not get to me at all. I know all of this inside and out. And I'm sharing that because that's a part of my expertise. But my expertise is also not losing it. Not letting something that just happened get the best of me. How does that improve the situation? Take a deep breath. Go call someone and get it sorted. And that's exactly what I did. And I remember the next day, because remember, I got in, I took a shower, so I was in bed by maybe 2:30. And I wasn't speaking. This was a Friday. The event was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I was the closing speaker on Sunday. So Saturday, the event was from like 10 to 6. So I thought I have a full night's to rest. But there were some other women who were also presenters who were staying at the same hotel. And I got to sleep at about 2:30. And they called me at about 7. Like, "Hi, are you Hope?" I said, "Yeah." They said, "Oh, okay. We don't want you to not be able to get rest, but we wanted to take you with us to the event." And I'm like, "Okay." And they said, "Well, can you be downstairs by 7:15?" I'm like, 7:15? It's 7 a.m. Like I had a long trip. Not really. Is there more time that you can allot me? Sure. How about 7:30? I was like, okay. Okay, this is just like flying. So it was no problem. Get up real quick, it's 7 o'clock, get in the shower, go. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. There's lots of acreage and the lake, and it was an amazing thing. Now, I'm sharing this with you because just to be able to roll with what is presented is magic, because most won't. Most people will say, no, I'm going to get upset. I'm going to say things that will hurt your feelings. I am going to use terrible language. All of these things that actually don't help anything. I am exceptional. I hold myself to a higher standard. I do not show up how others would show up. So why would I continuously allow myself to not be the exceptional person that I know I am? And this is some grown stuff. This is about being grown. Because I've been able to live a life where I've kind of been like a permanent 22-year-old. People don't tell me what to do. I've been able to roam the world and leave when I want and move where I want and do what I want and go when I want. Not just go outside, I mean go around the world. It wasn't until probably and I always have been somewhat responsible in that way, but it wasn't until recently where I'm like, oh, what's up? I see my hairstylist friend who just came in the building, where I felt like, yeah, I'm an adult, but I can I don't just have to gallivant all around the world. Now I do. Yeah, that's what's up, T. Well, T, what do you think? It's my pumpkin spice latte hair. What do you think? I had told you I was going to change it up, but I mean, that's okay too. There's a lot to be angry about. Thank you. Yes, I love a rose gold. Sure. There's a lot to be angry about. There's a lot of injustices that have happened to people. There's a lot of traumas and violations that have happened to people and their bodies and their mental state. I understand that anger. There's just a difference in allowing that anger to engulf you and to control you. I choose not to. I'm not defined by my anger. I'm actually not angry. I'm not angry about anything. In fact, I process things very quickly. No. Let me take that back. I process things. Not quickly. I process things. I don't do anything that quickly, but I do process things. Whether it's the ending of a relationship, I process it. I feel it, and it could take years. But it's about processing it, because a lot of young mofos don't process nothing. You just ignore it or distract yourself from it or engage in something else that takes your attention away. Well, we've been jumping all over the place. Now I was talking about the Thank You Next Year Learning for the Follow, the event where I gave this keynote in Mississippi on the 18th. This was of last month. Yeah. But processing is important. I know how to process. I've had therapy. Yeah, here's the thing. It's a skill to process. It's a skill, because you're not just innately knowing of this. You have to be taught to process something. That's why with breakups, often people don't process, and I'll use a breakup because that's a relevant term that most people can relate to. They won't process it, and they'll just find someone else so they don't have to feel that. What's up, Ronnie Ron? But to process it means, that's right, it's a superpower. It is. To sit with it, to sit with all of those feelings, to process it, to feel the discomfort, to cry or be hurt or whatever emotion. And to feel it is to heal it. But to feel it is so daunting. That's one of my superpowers. I feel everything. I really feel. And I feel when I'm around people. This is why I'm not always around people, because even when I'm speaking, it's an act. It's almost like a spiritual act. Yeah, I can pick up on things and I can feel. But to process something, which it was really helpful when my father died last year, was to process it. And I'm still processing, but in the immediate wake, to feel that and not say I don't want to feel it, because also often, yeah, and it's not retreat. I know how to release. This is a part of it. I process and I can release, because feelings aren't here to stay. We feel it and they release once you know how. But I don't hold on to things as well. I'm not a bag lady. I process it and I release. I don't hold grudges. I don't hold. I mean, I have the best wardrobe in the world, and I will release things and give things away because I will have more things. But to process and release. And when I was speaking about a relationship, I saw a piece of content that says, you will see people break up and one person will immediately be in another relationship and the other person won't, because they're actually processing. And I believe for myself, that's always been me, because I have some set rules. I'm not one to easily jump into anything, let alone a relationship, even a friendship. But a relationship is a close interpersonal dynamic. And so I will have to not only vet, but experience a person as they are in every way. And I say that because I don't easily just get in relationships. And so if I'm in one, I'm typically in it for a long time. I enjoy that. And it's probably the experience of only seeing my parents together, because it was a healthy working relationship. So my relationships have been multi-year things. And then when we separate, I give myself minimum a year to process. It's often much longer. And when I say minimum a year, that means I'm not going to entertain anyone, because I'm actually doing like a course study on myself. Like, okay, what came up? Were there insecurities? What was the insecurity that came up? Did codependency come up? How did that show up? Like, I'm actually writing things down, and maybe you cry, or it's like an emotional release. But to immediately latch on to someone else, for me, isn't conducive for the health of my emotional well-being. And I'm sharing this because this is one of the tools that has allowed me to trust myself. I take care of myself in every way. And when I started flying at 22, I was always by myself. So I've been traveling the world essentially by myself, learning about myself. And I'm an observer. And to observe myself and how I have or have not shown up for others, trust me, I'm not saying like was the ideal partner or girlfriend. Thank you, John Denny, for the follow. What's up? But to learn so I can improve upon who I am currently. And for me as a speaker, work through. For me as a speaker, that's part of it, because I'm an exceptional speaker to random people. I'm fantastic. I'm thriving. My skin is great. My body feels alive. I am wealthy in all areas. I'm prosperous. I'm funny. I am fantastic. That's how I am. I'm an exceptional speaker to people who don't have a personal connection to me. People within a personal connection, like a romantic sense, I'm learning that that's the area where I learn communication skills. My family, I can have concise communication, healthy communication. Within that realm of a romantic relationship, I have learned that that's where my my throat chakra is still has formed the most. Does that make sense? This is a whole, like, I did not know I was going to speak about this. But what I do now goes into every area of my life because communication is a skill. And there's been many places where women have not been pushed to speak. This is why I love what I do as a speaker. Women have never really been told to speak. In fact, most times women were told to shut up. Women were told that their needs, their wants, their thoughts, their feelings were not necessary. And everyone's thoughts and feelings are necessary. Yeah, throat chakra, blue, it just comes with you expressing. Now, by expressing, I didn't mean yelling and cussing. I mean just expressing yourself in a concise way where the receiver will receive it. Because you can say something, but it doesn't mean the audience or the person that you're speaking to is actually going to receive what you say. But speaking to women, because when I went into speaking initially, I thought I was going to be speaking to women and women only, because I am bold. I am. I'm fearless. I am afraid of nothing. Women haven't been pushed to feel and embody that, regardless of the background. And so to be able to express yourself in a concise way as a woman, in whatever way is best for you, is the act of truth and rebellion. And when I speak, it's purposeful. And I encourage everyone to feel when they speak instead of, when I was dismantling coming out of being a flight attendant, that had overshadowed every part of my life. To serve, to like polish myself in a certain way. I'm no longer in that, and I had to dismantle that. And so often we are not only walking through the world in this constructed idea of who we think we should be, we are in that world in our own personal spaces. So let me give you an example. As a flight attendant, nothing got to me. But nothing got to me because I would unplug. But then I would take that into maybe interpersonal relationships where I can allow myself to express that maybe I am feeling hurt or feeling some sort of disconnect. But if I'm still unplugged because I don't allow a customer to ever get to me personally, I would have to dismantle that. So within my own personal relationships, I'm not showing up as a customer service robot. Does that make sense? And I've only found this out from dismantling that. And in a lot of service jobs, we unknowingly are carrying these parts into every space of our waking life. And this isn't a bad thing. I don't see this as a negative thing. I just observed how it showed up for me. And as a speaker, I seek to be as authentic. But even as a person, I seek to be authentic. Like whatever I am in that moment, I show up as with love, but there's a beauty in being able to accept yourself and others as they are in that moment. I'm never trying to change anyone's mind or have anyone accept my belief as theirs. That's ridiculous. If that is, and many people do, that is what it is. But that will maybe make it uncomfortable because most people aren't going to see the world in the way you see it. And I have found, especially, I will say in the past year and a half, I've encountered shifts within my space, really starting with my father's death, that have been freeing, that have been helpful, that have been really uncomfortable, and that have shown me the beauty of the human element, because we may carry things that are outdated, but our willingness to hold on, grasp on to something that brings us comfort may not be comforting. Ron, it's not really a topic. What's up, Karen? It's not really a topic. At this point, I'm just talking. Yeah, as this is just a transitional time throughout the world. Yay. I'm happy you're here. And transitions are great and they can be uncomfortable, but they're there to serve us in some way. You see how I always get back to something positive? Everything can serve you in some way. However you see it for you. And I really believe that for myself. And that's why when I speak, at times you will see me just sit and put together what I'm going to say, because the impact our words can have may change someone's life. And we're all changing in the moment. We're all changing. And someone had said something so beautiful to me after I spoke at that last retreat, and it just stuck with me like, whoa. The beauty of the word, our words, our truth, our authenticity are always put out into the world, the universe, as energy, and it may shift someone's life in the most beautiful way. And that's the beauty. And I'm just going to keep being beautiful and shifting with life. Because I truly believe we're all here for a reason. Everyone who you encounter in life, my dad would say, nothing is a coincidence. I believe that. I also know there's a lot I can control, but most I can't. What I can control are my thoughts. Yeah. And even that, see, you don't even have to accept the changes. That's how, if you don't want to accept them, you don't. There's a space in like manifestation circles where they say you can like rewrite something that has happened in the past. It's all up for you to decide. I think it's all malleable, but for myself, I look at everything as a space for me to grow or to add to me in some way. And nothing really gets me down. And I've had quite a bit I've had a lot of changes. I don't care if it's losing someone, and I was sharing with someone, there's been a lot of transitions. I had a pet that I loved dearly because I didn't have a pet because I was a flight attendant. And when I moved to Maui, I was like, okay, I've retired. I can get a pet. And I had this cat named Sekhmet, which her name was very powerful. And I let her out one night and she came back and she tried to jump into the window and she couldn't. And I was like, why can't Seki jump into the window? And she had been attacked by like a dog or animal that had broken both of her legs and that had ruptured her stomach. Oh, it was terrible. And that was like heart-wrenching. And I had a former partner who transitioned from substances, and I had people on the flight who transitioned in my arms. Like, I've had these things happen where I understand it's part of it, and it doesn't get easier because I allow myself to feel it, and that's a superpower that I have because most people push that away. But to understand what I learned, especially in the partner that I'd passed, is accept every moment with whoever you have, because that's what you have. That moment right then, accept that, because that's the most important moment. Transitions happen, and to know that you connected with that human being for that amount of time is the magic. Because of all the people in the world, for you to come in contact with someone or have a friendship or whatever relationship is something. That means something. And I see that. Now, I'm not having too much contact with a lot of people, okay? But the ones that I choose to, it means something to me. I do see this as one big grid of us all coming together for whatever reason. And this is why I speak, because I'm just the conduit for the words that may inspire you to believe in yourself more. And when you believe in yourself more, it changes the world. To believe that you're good enough, to believe that you're worthy, to believe that you're deserving, to believe that you are beautiful, to believe that what you have is enough. Like, you don't need anything else. What you have is enough. And that's important, because I thought I need to have this, I need to have... No, what you have is enough right now. In this moment, what you have is enough. Right now. It's not the car, it's not the accolades, it's what you have is enough. And to grow and adapt and change and accept and release and forgive. It's that whole human experiment. So, here's one of the books I'm reading again because last time I didn't finish it. I was on a bike ride. I was cycling with my friend. And I saw this table outside with books, which I love. Anytime I see a table with books or those little cute mailboxes, like they're free libraries, I will go and I will look and I will pick up a book. And I've had this like 3 times because most of my books, all of my books are, thank you, Moni Love. Yeah, it's like a jaguar. It's like a jaguar. It's like that feline energy. Thank you. No, it's like a jaguar. It's on both sides. So I've had this book. Yes, with pleasure. With pleasure. Thank you. 3 times. All my books are either secondhand or free. from someone giving them away or someone's library. And I'm always with a book in hand. I may not be reading it. I believe sometimes I can just do this and absorb the information. I don't know, maybe I can. But this is the thing that I'm reading. I may do some content on this because personal change is important, and to grow from what we encounter in life. And I'm growing. My birthday is in, I don't know, what is today? It's in like 7 days, 8 days, something like that. And for me, that is my New Year's. January 1st isn't my New Year's. My personal New Year is my birthday. So I take that as like my new year. Thank you. November 26th. That is my new year. Right before Thanksgiving. So I would always tell my mom when I was a flight attendant, because my mom loves for all her girls to be home for the holidays, and she decorates and all this. Not as much anymore, but she still like changes the decor and puts out different tchotchkes. I would tell her, listen, Mom, Thanksgiving, I can't give that to you because it's too close to my birthday. Sometimes my birthday is on Thanksgiving, and I'll probably be on some foreign beach with my cheeks oiled up, tanning in the sun. But I can always give you Christmas. So I think all for except 1 year. So for 14 years out of the 15 years of me flying, I was always home with my parents on Christmas. And yeah, it's my new year. I'm not really into the holidays, and I think that comes from like a part of me not being in the US for so long, and Thanksgiving and like all of these holidays are big here in the US, but they're not anywhere else except for Christmas, unless you're in like Asia, where the Christmas isn't really celebrated. But I don't really do anything for the holidays. So my birthday is my new year. I'm very excited. I'm very excited about the year. I've just grown through whatever has been presented to me this year, and this is no different. And so the point is to grow, to smile, to release, and to just accept that it's not over. There's still goodness. There's great things to come. I've been planting great seeds. Like, as long as you're planting seeds, oh yeah, there's so much to look forward to. There's so much to be excited about. There's so much to expect. And I just expect that. I just expect things are great. I just expect great things. Feliz cumpleaños! Thank you! So be in a space of expectation, positive expectation. Be in a space of knowing that what is in front of you will be so much bigger than what's behind you. Because it will. It will. What do you have to say about that? All the 61 people that are left. Any questions or comments about this live? Because I'm going to stay on for about a little bit longer. If anyone has any questions or comments or like, I don't know, life help that they want to ask, I will answer. And then I'm going to drink some water, journal a bit, wash off my makeup, and get my beauty rest. Yeah, that's my message for today. We kind of jumped around, but the beauty is the growth of each and every one of us. Yeah, to exhale. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, I remember when I practiced monitoring my breath. And I do deep breathing exercises, especially right when I wake up and I meditate. But living in a city like New York, I would check in with myself and notice you are holding your breath. Now, you're probably doing it because it stinks, but that tightens up, that causes this restriction. So, like, release, breathe, exhale. Or the times where you feel triggered and you contract or your breathing is shallow. No, release. Take 3 breaths and just wait, just chill. And that beauty of exhaling, just exhale and check in throughout the day. Am I holding my breath? Am I taking shallow breaths? Let me just like sit in the corner and take 10 deep breaths and close my eyes and regulate myself and check in. That's a huge lesson, to check in. How am I feeling? Okay, I don't always have to conceptualize like, okay, I'm not feeling good because this. No, I'm feeling relaxed, but I'm a little tense. Okay, all right, that's all right. And there was a time I would say, well, you are feeling tense. That dog just almost jumped up and bit your butt. That would be normal, so that's okay. Let's breathe and release, and we're okay. We'll let it go, and let's go on with life. Yeah, everything, my dad would say, even if you don't think it is fine, it will. You're not going to explode. Like, your head isn't going to just explode. Everything is fine. And trust me, I've been in some precarious incidents. I've lived a very colorful life. Everything works out, because it does. What's the other option? Nothing is that detrimental where I don't believe that I will not survive. Nothing. Especially after the passing of my father. I can get through everything. I trust myself. I know I have the tools. I know I have the resources for any support that I need. I know that I am the support that I need. So it will be okay. And it's so simple. Just tell yourself it'll be okay. Even like being late somewhere, like, okay, there's only 2 options. I'm going to arrive safely, which means I need to allow myself time. If I have to be there at 1/2 the hour, and I know it takes me a half hour, I want to leave an hour before so I can drive there and be there safely. Or if you're late, accept that you're late and still just get there safely. To say, well, I'm late, I shouldn't be late, I need to, I'm not doing that. And let me out of the car if that's how you want to do it, okay? I'm not doing that, and it's never that serious. Nothing in life is that serious. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing is even that serious really for me to argue about. What am I arguing about? Nothing. There is nothing that I'm going to there is nothing. When I tell you nothing. And it doesn't mean that I may not have strong emotions for things or a passionate thought, but it doesn't matter. That also doesn't matter. A lot of the things that this also comes from traveling a lot. None of this matters. Just go to a different country. What you're arguing about doesn't pertain to that next space, number 1. Number 2, when you die, no one will care about what you're arguing about. And number 3, unless you're gaining something from it, which a lot of people gain their worth from arguing about whatever belief, I don't care. Like, your belief is your belief, and it makes you feel good to believe in that. That's great. I'm not here to oppose it, ever. Everyone should believe in what they believe in. And that's it. I'm not that passionate about these types of things. So with that, I see there's not any questions or anything of this nature. As I said, if this resonated with you or has helped you in any way, or there's a topic that you would like me to speak on, shoot me a DM. I will record content for my Hope is Speaking YouTube. Go and subscribe to my Hope is Speaking YouTube. I upload all of my YouTube lives to my Hope is Speaking YouTube. I just made, I put it on here as well, but I have affirmations and meditations and things of this nature. So long form content is on my Hope is Speaking YouTube page. I'm securing my dates for next year already, which is great. And I'm very excited. However, I am here to be of service. And if my voice, if my words, if my speaking is of service, like, share, send me a message. I will send something back. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here for this past 90 minutes. I will come back on tomorrow because I haven't been coming on. I've been traveling and setting up things, and I'll be traveling again for my own personal New Year's for my birthday. But I love to be here on live. And I usually go on TikTok Live and YouTube Live at the same time. Thank you, Skylight Sundance, for liking the live. If you want to send me a gift, you can. My link in bio has all of my links. And I close all of my lives with these 3 things. Be the reflection of love, because we all come from an infinite source of love. Show up. I showed up finally. But show up for your workout, show up for your dream, show up for yourself. Because if you don't show up, it can't happen. And don't sweat the small stuff. Because it's all small stuff. It is. It's all small stuff. And send great energy my way. Really, I have had a few of my hopefuls say, "Hope, can you speak about this?" And I do. So that would be helpful for especially the content I create on YouTube. So enjoy your evening. I'm going to come on earlier tomorrow. If you haven't already followed me here, follow me here and turn on your notifications, because I come on when I'm led. I don't have a set time. But me and my new pumpkin spice latte hair will be back to inspire and enlighten and make you laugh tomorrow. Enjoy your evening. Thank you. Bye.